Can you imagine that in our time there's a place where people can buy and sell anything? And by saying anything, I mean really anything. In this place, you can buy anything you want, starting from a few carrots to a human being. Yeah, you heard that right. This place buy and sell people. Illegal weapons, animals, drugs, and anything you can or cannot imagine. You must have heard the term dark web before, or even have heard some terrifying things about it. Well, that's what we'll be talking about today, as in this video we're going to talk about scary facts about the dark web. But let's talk first. What is a dark web? According to Wikipedia, the definition of the dark web is, it is the World Wide Web content that exists on darknets, overlay networks that use the internet but require specific software configurations or authorization to access. Through the dark web, private computer networks can communicate and conduct business anonymously without divulging identifying information such as a user's location. The dark web is considered a small part of the deep web, which is part of the web not indexed by web search engines like Google. Now, let's start talking about some scary facts about the dark web. Number 1. The dark web is a huge marketplace for criminals and mafias, and is believed to generate at least $500,000 in earnings per day. Number 2. Dark web activity is growing like crazy, as in the last 3 years its activity has increased by 300%. Number 3. Dark web is full of scams. For example, a dark web site scammed many people by claiming that they offer hitman services, but they just wanted to earn lots of money and people kept falling for them. Number 4. If you think that the surface web that we use every day and browse, its websites like Google, Yahoo, YouTube, and so on, is huge and substantial, you should think again, as the dark web is estimated to be 400 to 500 times larger. Number 5. Normal currency can't be used on the dark web. That means you can't just go and use your credit card to purchase services or something. On the dark web, you have to use cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin to make market transactions. And the reason why these currencies are popular on the dark web is because they're virtually untraceable. Number 6. It's noticed that more and more people in North America are using the dark web, as it has been found that over 30% of North Americans access the dark web regularly. Number 7. Mafia and gangs use the dark web to get their jobs done, as about 65% of active criminal gangs rely on spear phishing powered by dark web data to launch attacks. Number 8. It has been found that about 25,927,476 passwords that belong to employees at Fortune 1000 companies were leaked and available readily in dark web markets and data dumps. Number 9. Some experts believe that about 60% of the information available on the dark web could potentially harm enterprises, as they can reach the deepest secrets of these enterprises. Number 10. Cybercriminals are noted to enjoy gambling and all sorts of strange stuff at dark web online poker games. Who knows what they can bet on? A human head, maybe? Number 11. It's founded that some of the most notorious serial killers have access to the dark web, which means they can continue their criminal acts by help of the dark web. And they can also search for some horrible facts, as a search conducted on the dark web by metro.co.uk found that there's some tips on how to cook a woman. That's pretty horrible, isn't it? Number 12. On the dark web, you can also find some weird services or strange products. For example, there's a man selling only pretzels, another was just selling carrots for Bitcoin, and another was selling a wish pill. It's basically a pill you take, then you make a wish and it's supposed to come true. Now that's just ridiculous. Number 13. People buy a hitman on the dark web. It's possible to hire criminals to commit murder, fraud, or any other crime imaginable on the dark net. It's a very bad place out there. Number 14. The dark web is a favorable place for terrorists, as they can buy information, illegal weapons, false passports, false birth certificates, security and social cards, which makes it easier for them to travel from a country to another. Number 15. It's reported that in 2014, 17.6 million people in the US were victims of identity theft, as dark web users can steal your personal information and sell them. If you lose your ID, they can also anonymously sell it on the dark web. So be very careful, and if you lost your ID, you should report it to the police. Number 16. We now know that the content on the dark web is much more than the content on the surface web, as in 2020 alone, more than 22 billion new records were added to the dark web. Number 17. If you want to know what happens when your credit card lost, we'll give you a hint. Stolen credit cards are often sold on the dark web, and other pirates will make it their job and use stolen credit cards to buy gift cards and then resell them for a lesser price than they're worth. Number 18. Even child spirits can be sold on the dark web. In Thailand and other Eastern countries, there are many people who believe voodoo masters can capture the spirits of babies that have been miscarried, aborted, then people buy these spirits to make spirits do stuff for them. Number 19. One of the most shocking and horrifying things about the dark web is human trafficking. Disturbing pictures of people are taken, and these people are sold as property, to who will pay high or the highest bidder. Number 20. A place selling illegal weapons, human beings, and other illegal stuff must be selling drugs as well. It's noticed in the last few years that the dark web has been a big seller for illegal drugs, especially among students. Even with the recent bust of Silk Road, the biggest supplier of illegal drugs on the dark web, sales have been strong and growing. Number 21. One of the scariest facts about the dark web is that it is backed by the US government. You heard me right. The software program that makes the dark web possible, named the Onion Router, is sponsored by the US Department State Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor. So how is it possible for a country that calls for freedom and calls for combating drugs, human trafficking, and weapons to back something like this? That's a pretty good question. That's it, we come to the end of today's video after we told you some really scary facts about the dark web. So take care of yourself, your family, and pay a good attention to your personal information online, like your passwords, your banking information, your credit cards information, and any type of information that hackers may use or steal. Take care, friend, and follow us and subscribe to our channel to receive all our new videos. See you next time with some cool new facts.